This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is an emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Let's see. I'm trying to get here. Let's see. Just a sec. 7 p.m. Mountain Time. It's 0100 Zulu. To discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you happen to have NetLogger, I'll see your call sign pop up in the AIM window. And I'll get you logged in right away. Also, if you are on YouTube, for those of you who are over on YouTube, welcome. We are broadcasting over there tonight. If you don't have a call sign, that's fine over on YouTube. I'd just like to know your first name and your location. If you do have a call sign, you can post that in the chat window as well, and I'll get you logged in that way too. Obviously, I'll take them over the air in just a few minutes. And I also take them via email for those of you who may be out there and can't log in any other way, or are having difficulties checking in one of those ways as well. You can send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. And just let me know you're out there and listening tonight. And if you have a call sign, you can post that in the email as well. All right, right now I'm going to acknowledge those of you who have already checked in. And I will get to that in just a second after I let this system reset. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Go ahead and acknowledge Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. John over on YouTube, KJ7AGQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. Randall, KF0VTH, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mike, KO5AOK over on YouTube checking in tonight as well. I don't see anybody else over on YouTube. Or here, let me check that one. Is that a new call? Nope, Randy, excuse me, Randy. We got you on the list. Yep, I just need to correct the name there. Got a few more popping in over on, where am I? On NetLogger, we got Keaton, KF0WWS. Thanks for checking in tonight. And we got Paul, WA7GVL. Thanks for checking in tonight. So, who else? Oh, a bunch of people popping over on NetLogger. Do appreciate that. Makes it real easy to type in your call signs. It's just to cut and or copy and paste. Robert AA5AH, thanks for checking in tonight, and Ed W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. And hopefully you guys can stick around for Ed's Rocky Report in a little bit as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll go ahead and call on check-ins over the air. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Foxtrot 0, Victor Lima Oscar. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Victor Lima Oscar. Ron and Bertha.
All right, let's pause there. There was a call sign in there, or somebody checked in. Very overmodulated signal, and I couldn't make head nor tails of that particular call. So if I don't acknowledge you, I'll take check-ins again in just a sec. So let's see. Acknowledge Ed. We got Randy. KE0RXF, thanks for checking in tonight. And Randy, I think that's a new call on the list, so welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll get back to you in just a sec. Ron, KF0VLO, thanks for checking in tonight. And Jim, AC0LI, thanks for checking in tonight. The other call that was very unreadable, I think it may be a little too close to the mic or something like that. You can try again, because if I didn't call your call sign, I don't have you on the list. So let's try that again. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. All right, nothing heard. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Randy up in Fort Collins, KE0RXF. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. The call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I've been doing the net for, gosh, over 30 years. It is a learning net, so I even learn something new every net as well, and I've been the one that's running it. So the way I do the net, I'm obviously taking some check-ins, got some quick bulletins, or excuse me, quick announcements. got some bulletins to pass along, local astronomical news, uh, and then after the bulletins, actually, well, let's see, astronomical news first, bulletins, and then the rocket report. And then after the rocket report, I like to touch base with everybody on the list, find out what they're up to, questions, comments, observation reports, anything you're looking up at the sky at or taking photographs of. Love to hear about that. So, like I said, I like to touch base with my first time check-ins, find out a little bit about your background interest in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing astronomy for decades like I have, or somewhere in between, professionally or amateur or what have you. KE0RXF, please share with us what your background in astronomy is. Go ahead.
Thanks, Bruce. I've been a astronomer amateur for, golly, I was pretty active back in the 1990s, so it's been many years, and I received your newsletter for many years in the email system. So it's not really that I'm new. It's just I was luckily listening to the radio at the time I started the net. So not as active as I used to be, but always interested. But back to net.
All right, Randy, no worries. I was kind of wondering in the back of my mind, something said that that wasn't exactly a new call sign, but I started up a database in my spreadsheet of call signs, and I did not have that list. Actually, I found a whole stack of, I bet you I might be able to find that. And I did when I was going through paperwork. Found a list of, or a whole tons of my handwritten logs for the net. Maybe one of these days I'll have to transpose them into the into my database so that I know who's checked in, because I know I got a lot of people that are in there for sure. That are showing up new and aren't so new anymore. But Randy, definitely glad to have you. You are now officially on the list. So appreciate your checking in tonight. And again, welcome. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get into the announcements and the local astronomical news. I do apologize for that. Been dealing with some, it's taken me several days to finally get my newsletter out and published. And I do apologize for those of you who do receive it via email. I haven't even sent the email out yet. But I will get around to doing that after the net tonight. But too many things going on here at home. My wife passed away in April, so I'm still dealing with that. And it is definitely very stressful, and doing the newsletter was not at the top of my list, so I do apologize. We got a couple more check-ins via NetLogger. We got Trevor, KF0WRX, thanks for checking in tonight, and Tony, N0STG, thanks for checking in tonight. All right, announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com. and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to a web page and the newsletter. Oh, I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. You're more than welcome to visit our website at iaas.org for more information, or visit us on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also, a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. Also, the IAAS has their own club call sign, K0AAS. So if you happen to hear K0AAS on the air, be sure to hop on there and say, hey. Oh, let's see. What else? On Mondays and Wednesdays, for those of you who might be interested in flight simulations, you may want to check out Jack, KE0VH's YouTube site at Captain Jack Flight Sim. That's CAPNJACKFLTSIM on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. until he decides to land the plane. Interesting to fly along with him in the cockpit of various aircraft and see how the simulations actually render fairly realistically. And sometimes we get to they talk a lot about flight simming, but every now and then a little bit of astronomy and amateur radio thrown in there as well. So definitely check out his some of his past flights as well. He does pick some interesting flight areas to fly over. So check those out. Captain Jack Flight Sim on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And that's it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay. We'll go ahead and acknowledge Rick, VA3RKL, thanks for checking in tonight, and Chad, KF0UUC, thanks for checking in tonight. Got you both checked in there over from NetLogger, so thanks for that. I'm just looking to see if there's anybody over on YouTube. Nobody else over there yet, but be sure to, for those of you who are over on on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. That would be great. And subscribe if you haven't already done so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get into the local astronomical news for May. I'll start off as usual with the phases of the moon. We had a full moon on the 1st. We got a last quarter moon coming up on the 9th, a new moon on the 16th, a first quarter moon on the 23rd, and another full moon on the 31st. So May is a month of the blue moon, which is a second full moon in one month, or it can be a fourth full moon in a particular quarter. At this time, it happens to be the second full moon in a month. So once in a blue moon, so get around to doing that this month. So there you go. The moon was at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, on the 4th, yesterday. It was 252,177 miles from Earth. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month, on the 17th. It will be 222,498 miles from Earth. And let's see, one reason I haven't sent out the email with my newsletter in there yet is I'm just reading it over after I've already written it for the first time. So if I happen to see any typos, I can definitely correct them on the fly before I send it out and make proper corrections. But hopefully I won't have to do that. Planetary highlights for May. Venus and Jupiter are the top evening features for your observing run after sunset in May. Jupiter also hosts a handful of exciting double transits and double shadow transits involving Europa and Ganymede. Saturn and Mars make a brief reappearance in the pre-dawn sky, joined by a crescent moon. My excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, May 2026, page 28. On with the planets. We got Mercury is in superior conjunction on the 14th. That means it's actually behind the sun on that particular date. Mercury rises at 5:33 a.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Mercury returns to the evening sky, setting about 9:59 p.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible in the eastern sky about 30 minutes before sunrise during the first week of the month. So now's the time to get out there and see if you can spot Mercury very, very low on the eastern horizon. And about 30 minutes after sunset during the last week of the month. In between, the Mercury was way too close to the sun to be spotted comfortably, and you don't want to look at the sun without proper filtering. Mercury moves from the constellation of Pisces into Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 0.6 on the 31st. So it's going to be nice and bright and nice and high, about as high as it's going to get by the end of the month. So I look forward to that. It will be a challenge to spot Mercury, even though, but you definitely can spot it, especially with binoculars or a small telescope. Venus is setting about 10:16 p.m. on the 1st and about 11:02 p.m. by month's end. Look for Venus to the west about 30 minutes after sunset. Venus moves from the constellation of Taurus into Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 3.9. In fact, in a couple of weeks, on Tuesday, May 19th, you may want to check out Venus, a very, very thin crescent moon, and Jupiter all towards the west in the evening. We got Mars rising about 5:03 a.m. on the 1st and about 4 a.m. by month's end. I'll look for Mars low to the east in the morning, about 30 minutes before sunrise. Mars moves from the constellation of Pisces into Aries, shining at magnitude 1.2. Actually, yeah, anytime about a half an hour after these rise times is a good time to get out there and see if you can spot these planets in the morning sky, or a half an hour after the sun sets when the sky's darken enough to see the planets. The dimmer planets will take a little longer when the skies get absolutely dark. Okay, I already did that one. Oh, I forgot to give you the little tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see under optimal conditions, dark skies and good eyes, is about 6 magnitude. A magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is about 2.5 times dimmer. The magnitude scale is set up that every 5 magnitudes in difference is 100 times difference in brightness. So anything less than 6 you will be able to see with the naked eye, but definitely point your telescopes and binoculars towards these objects so you can pull out some of the finer detail as well. Then we got Jupiter setting about 1:09 a.m. on the 1st and about 11:22 p.m. by month's end. By the time the sun sets, Jupiter is high in the southwestern sky and dominates the rest of the evening sky. Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 1.9. And as you notice, towards the end of the month, Jupiter will be rising before midnight. But with that said, it will take a while to get above the horizon. So the best time to still observe Jupiter will be, it will be, scratch that, I'm all mixed up, is setting in the earlier evening. So you will be able to see Jupiter for the rest of the month, but it will be setting earlier and earlier. Apologies for that. I'm all mixed up. I wonder why. Let's see. Saturn rises at 4:41 a.m. on the 1st and about 2:57 a.m. by month's end. Look for Saturn towards the east in the morning sky before sunrise. Saturn moves from the constellation of Cetus into Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.9. Then we got Uranus. Will be in conjunction with the Sun on the 22nd. Uranus sets about 9:26 p.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Uranus returns to the morning sky, rising about 5:05 a.m. by month's end. Look for Uranus to the southwest in the evening during the first week or so of the month. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. And then we got Neptune rising about 4:33 a.m. on the 1st and about 2:33 a.m. by month's end. Look for Neptune towards the east in the morning sky before sunrise. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. Neptune is still within about 10 minutes or so of Saturn, so it's in the relatively the same area of the sky. So if you're looking for Saturn, look for a little blue dot preceding Saturn just by a few minutes there, and you might be able to pick out Neptune. And this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. For our dwarf planets, we have dwarf planet Ceres will be in conjunction with the Sun on the 14th. Ceres sets at 8:19 p.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Ceres returns to the morning sky as well, rising about 5:17 a.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the west once the sky is darkened after sunset during the first week of the month. Ceres moves from the constellation of Aries into Taurus, shining at magnitude 8.7. Actually, now is a good time to spot these early setting planets because the moon will not interfere with observing them this early in the evening. But you will definitely need to get under dark sky conditions, away from the city for sure, to spot these that are setting earlier. Pluto.
Conjunction Ceres returned to the morning sky as well, rising about 5:17 a.m. The month Ceres can be spotted low to the west once the sky is darkened after sunset during the first week of the month. Ceres moved from the constellation constellation of Aries and Taurus shining at magnitude 8.7.
Interesting. When I said series, my system thought I said Siri and started reading the newsletter for me. All right, where was I? Sirius can be spotted low to the west once the sky is dark and after sunset during the first week of the month. Sirius moves from the constellation of Aries into Taurus, shining at magnitude 8.7. We got Pluto will be stationary on the 8th, neither appearing to move forward nor backward relative to the background stars. Pluto rises at 2:15 a.m. on the 1st, about 12:13 a.m. by month's end. Pluto can be spotted to the south before sunrise. That's when Pluto is highest in the sky, and the skies are darker. And Pluto's definitely a challenge. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.2. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. Meteor showers. We are right in the midst of the Eta Aquarids meteor shower. This shower is visible during the period of April 21st to May 12th. It reaches a maximum on May 5th. During the period of greatest activity, hourly rates usually reach 20 for observers in the northern hemisphere and 50 for observers in the southern hemisphere. And actually, according to the magazine, it's actually peaking on the 6th. So right now, we're in the midst of that particular peak for the Eta Aquarids. However, being in Denver right now, it is snowing and is expected to snow even more through the early morning hours and well into tomorrow. Who knows? So I will not get to see any of these Eta Aquarids meteors streaking through the skies. So I would definitely love to hear any observation reports of those of you who are maybe under clearer skies, and hearing about your observation reports to spot some of these Eta Aquarids. But anytime during the period of April 21st through the 12th, we'll definitely like to hear about that for sure. We do have a comet. Comet 10P Temple 2 is brightening to past 9th magnitude, passing through the constellations of Aquila the Eagle and just above Sagittarius this month. So that made its presence known last month and is brightening, so maybe 7th or 8th magnitude, who knows. Comets are always a little bit flaky when it comes to trying to figure out what their magnitudes are, what they're going to be. All depends on what's happening with them. But if you happen to look in that general vicinity and see a little fuzz ball, that just might be Comet Temple 2 there. So definitely check that out. And let's see, that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, I don't see anybody else checked in via NetLogger or on YouTube. And nobody over on email either. So I will go ahead and open up the net. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo 7, Victor Whiskey Papa. Kilo 7, Victor Whiskey Papa. Kilo India 4, Oscar Zulu, Quebec. Kilo India 4, Oscar Zulu, Quebec.
Okay, good evening to you, Michael and Matthew. Michael, K7 VWP. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. That's a new call on the list. And Matthew, KI4OZQ, also a new call on the net tonight. So welcome, both of you. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I do like to touch base with my first time check-ins and find out a little bit about your background interest in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have. I've been doing the net for 30 years now. I just finished the local astronomical news, got some bulletins coming up. I got an interesting one, I think. It was interesting when I was looking at it a little earlier, and hopefully you'll find out that it's interesting as well. But right now, hopefully, we got a rocket report after that, and then I like to touch base with everybody checking in tonight. It's our question and answer and sharing of observation reports, things like that. So that'll be a little bit later on. Right now, Michael, K7 VWP, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello, this is Mike. I am K7VWP. I am interested in astronomy. I am just barely starting out, so what I'm listening to here is awesome, and I just appreciate that there's somebody out there doing this. So I'm going to be learning a whole bunch, I have a feeling. So I'll give it back to you, K7VWP, back to net control.
All right, Michael, you bet. This is a learning net, that's for sure. I'd say it every week. I learn something new every time, and I've been doing this for 30 years. Matthew in Tennessee, KI4OZQ. Good evening to you, and tell us a little bit about your, excuse me, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
This is KI4OZQ, Matt, and I do like to look at the moon. I got a strong pair of binoculars, and I like to look up at the moon, and sometimes I look up to see the stars and look at the binoculars and everything. But there was a show that came on, I think in the 80s or 90s, it's called Cosmos. And it was hosted by Carl Sagan, or however you pronounce his last name. Anyway, you can go on YouTube and type Cosmos, Carl Sagan. He's got some real interesting stuff on that show Cosmos. So I'm turning the net back over to you, KI4OZQ, back to net control.
All right, Matt, you bet. Yeah, I actually have the DVD set of Carl Sagan's Cosmos, and I've actually watched that several times. Definitely, I watched it when they first came on TV too, way back when. So yeah, I'm no youngster to that. That's for sure. And a good pair of binoculars is an excellent instrument to start off learning what's up in the skies and getting used to some of the interesting things that you can see through a pair of binoculars and what actually pops out at you. The one thing that I've always been fascinated with as far as binoculars is concerned is looking at the Andromeda Galaxy and checking that out. It will actually, fill your whole field of view in binoculars. When you look at it through the telescope, all you're really looking at is the nucleus of that particular object or that galaxy. But when you look at it through a pair of binoculars, it covers at least 3 degrees of sky, 3 to 4 degrees of sky, and it's just huge. And you can, on very clear, very dark nights, you can see that with the naked eye, and that's 3 million light years from here. So just keep that in mind when you're looking out up the skies, and take those binoculars and scan the Milky Way, point it at some fuzzy object up there and see what pops out. For sure, you might be able to pick out the Galilean moons on a nice clear night as well. Check out the Terminator along the moon. That's the line of dark and light is called the Terminator right there. You can look and check that out. Let's see, mountains that are lit up in the shadows, and then craters that are in darkness that are in the light side of along that line. So very rough. It is definitely not a smooth line as it might appear to be. So Matt, appreciate you sharing that with us. And again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and get into the bulletins in just a sec. And just a reminder, I am monitoring NetLogger, and we are on YouTube as well. So if you want to see some of the images, I'm not putting up too many images over on YouTube, but I do post a couple every now and then. You may want to check out that channel. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We do have another check-in over on YouTube. We got KF0VXO. Mark, thanks for checking in via YouTube there. Appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and get into the bulletins. I'll start off as usual with ISS passes. For those of you who might be interested in ISS passes over your local area, you may want to check out this particular website, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. Got that posted over on YouTube right now. The one reason I like this particular website, as opposed to looking at it with my cell phone or on an iPad or something like that, is I can print out a nice star chart. I can print out a nice star chart and then print it out and take that outside. If I drop that star chart on the ground, I can pick that up without ever worrying about it breaking or anything. Also, on that star chart, if I can find my cursor there, it shows the path of the ISS across the skies and what particular constellations that it's passing through. I'm going to pull up one. It looks like over the Denver area, we're making the transition from morning to evening with the ISS passes. Instead of getting up at dark 100, we can stay up a little bit later into the evening. I'm going to print out or post one for tomorrow morning at about 4 a.m. or about 4:40 a.m. The ISS passes nearly overhead, right past the tail end of the handle of the Big Dipper, right across the skies. And this is actually an interesting path, right past the last star in the handle of the Big Dipper, the head of Cygnus the Swan, which is Albireo, or what we like to call here in Colorado, the Bronco stars. It's actually a double star. It's blue and orange, and that's why we call it the Bronco star here in Colorado anyway. And then through overhead. And that's tomorrow morning if it's clear. It will be a little bit off from there. It actually passes right past Vega in the constellation of Lyra as well tomorrow morning. So an interesting overhead pass for the ISS. So for those of you who are in the Denver area, maybe we'll get a clear sky at 4:40 a.m. But that's definitely an interesting pass. You should see those bright stars without any problems, provided it is clear. And you can see on YouTube that image is nice and big, and you can print that out, no problems. Also, tomorrow evening, the ISS is passing over the Denver area as well. A slightly different path in the evening, starting at about 9:22 p.m. And crosses the heavens at a little bit lower angle. A little easier on your neck to follow that one. But again, these passes are, what I'm talking about right now, are good for the Denver area, but if you put in your home coordinates into the upper, log in and put in your home coordinates, you'll get much more accurate readings for your particular location. And you can see when the ISS is passing overhead. Those are the visible passes. It also has a nice long list of all of the passes over the Denver area as well. So you can see that's quite a long list for the next 10 days. So if you wanted to contact the ISS or listen to it or whatever, you have all those data points to check out over your area. Again, that website, www.heavens-above.com. And this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I got an interesting bulletin for you this evening. It is from, let's see, where is it from? NASA Science. I've heard a little bit of something on the news about Betelgeuse, or at least through the net, things like that. Betelgeuse is in the constellation of Orion. It is a nice red giant, and I'll go ahead and get into it right now. What is Betelgeuse inside the strange volatile star? A blazing red supergiant shining brilliantly in the night sky. Betelgeuse is a star that has captured humanity's awe and attention for centuries. The right shoulder in the constellation Orion, or left shoulder as seen from Earth, Betelgeuse, or Alpha Orionis, is one of the brightest stars in the night sky and one of the largest stars ever discovered. But there is more to this ultra-bright stellar monster than meets the eye. What is Betelgeuse? Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star with a distinctive orange-red hue. Stars in this class are nearing the end of their lives. They are the largest stars in the universe because they puff up and expand out into space in their old age. At roughly 10 million years old, Betelgeuse is much younger than our nearly 5 billion year old sun. But while it is much younger, it is also much more massive and will burn through its materials faster and will therefore have a shorter lifespan than a star like our sun. Betelgeuse is around 700 light years away. This means that it takes the light from this star about 700 years to reach Earth. so that if you see Betelgeuse in the night sky, you're seeing the star from about 700 years ago. Aside from its unmistakable color, Betelgeuse is particularly easy to spot because of its brightness. It is often the 10th brightest star in the sky. It can be much brighter or much dimmer at times. Betelgeuse is about 7,500 to 14,000 times brighter than the sun. Betelgeuse is also one of the largest stars visible to the unaided eye. It's about 700 times the size of the sun and around 15 times more massive. In fact, Betelgeuse is so giant that if we replaced our sun with Betelgeuse, it would stretch past Jupiter's orbit. While it is large and bright, Betelgeuse isn't actually that hot, with a surface temperature of about 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit over 3,300 degrees Celsius, cooler than our sun's roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 5,500 degrees Celsius surface. A stellar history. Because it is so bright and relatively close to Earth, and since it's possible to see details on the star that are not visible on fainter, more distant stars, scientists have studied Betelgeuse throughout history. Scientists think it's likely that even the earliest humans were aware of Betelgeuse. It is also incorporated in the stories and mythology of many different cultures. While many refer to the star as part of Orion, named for the hunter in Greek mythology, ancient Egyptians included Betelgeuse in their constellation Osiris, named after their mythical god of the underworld. Ancient Greek astronomer Claudius Ptolemy is said to have described the star with the Greek word hypokouros, which translates to mean a color that can range from a pale yellow to a light reddish color. This suggests that the star had not yet developed into the more reddish color we are familiar with today. In 1603, German astronomer Johann Bayer gave the star its Latin name Alpha Orionis, with Alpha meaning it's the brightest star in its constellation. It retains this name, even though the star Rigel is now known to be the brightest in Orion. In 1836, astronomer and mathematician Sir John Herschel documented Betelgeuse's changing brightness, but he was likely not the first to note it. There is evidence that the variability of Betelgeuse and other red giants was described much earlier in Aboriginal oral traditions. Betelgeuse has since been classified as a semi-regular variable star, which is a type of a variable star that periodically waxes and wanes in brightness and occasionally undergoes irregular light changes. Betelgeuse typically has a 400-day cycle, as well as a larger cycle that stretches about 5 years. But in 2019, something strange happened. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net continuing. Is it going to explode? In the fall of 2019, Betelgeuse started to drastically dip in brightness outside of its typical brightening and fading cycle. Within months, the star had dimmed by about 60% in an event now known as the Great Dimming. This sudden dimming was so significant that some scientists wondered if Betelgeuse was entering a pre-supernova phase, which precludes a massive star's explosive death in a supernova. Talk of a possible explosion sparked intrigue around the world, as Betelgeuse would be the closest supernova to ever be observed and recorded by humans. By April of 2020, Betelgeuse had returned to its normal brightness, but the dimming remained a mystery. There were early attempts to make sense of the strange and unusual event, but the full picture wouldn't be revealed until next year. By analyzing data from observation, I can't talk tonight. By analyzing data from observatories, including NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, scientists found that Betelgeuse blew its top in 2019. The star spewed a giant piece of its surface material out into space, a type of event known as a surface mass ejection. Once in space, this material cooled into a dust cloud that temporarily blocked the light from the star. Ejecting material is fairly normal for stars. In fact, our sun does this routinely, blowing out material from its outer atmosphere or corona in events called coronal mass ejections. But the Betelgeuse eruption was not like the sun's routine ejections. Betelgeuse blew 400 billion times as much mass as is usually emitted during a coronal mass ejection. And the chunk it spewed out into space likely weighed several times as much as our moon. Scientists think that the massive, never-before-seen ejection was potentially caused by a plume of gas bubbling up from within the star, which was assisted by the star's normal 400-day pulsation cycle. However, the exact cause and mechanism behind it is still unknown. What we don't know. As the dust both literally and figuratively settles for Betelgeuse and it continues to recover from the great dimming, scientists have been observing the star and its strange behavior. While this surface mass ejection is something that humanity hadn't witnessed before, it is possible that ones like this are a relatively common occurrence throughout the universe. The fact that we witnessed it at all with Betelgeuse is due to our familiarity with the star, its closeness and large size, and our ability to observe the entire star in close detail with the Hubble Space Telescope. Skywatchers can see Betelgeuse from their backyards, so there are no shortage of observations. However, to get a closer look at the star, its atmosphere, and how it is changing in significant detail, scientists depend on observatories like Hubble. Hubble's ability to see in ultraviolet light has been instrumental in revealing the details of the Great Dimming and its continued aftermath. By observing it in ultraviolet light, Hubble can get a close look at the hot layers of atmosphere above the star's surface. While Hubble remains a primary tool for scientists exploring Betelgeuse, the star's future, and the evolving ways in which humanity explores this strange star remain open-ended. The only thing that's certain, Betelgeuse will eventually go supernova. However, scientists expect it isn't likely to happen for about another 100,000 years, at which point Betelgeuse will become either a neutron star or black hole. The star's final fate depends on how much material is left after the supernova event. And that's it for that bulletin. Also, you may want to check out observations by the James Webb Space Telescope. That one is in infrared. And there's some interesting findings. I was hoping to find some more information on that as well. So there's definitely some interesting activity in the infrared zone with observations from James Webb telescope as well. So we'll talk about that as I get those bulletins. And that's it for the bulletins for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and call on Ed, W6RDZ, and see if he's willing to give the rocket report this evening, or ready to give the rocket report this evening. W6RDZ, this is KI0AR calling.
W6RDZ, the Rocket Man. Should be getting going here with the rocket report. Why don't you give me a signal check here and let me know how my audio.
You're a little light on the audio, but you're a solid copy there. I just turned up the volume on the radio so the YouTubers can hear that and not get blasted out. So go ahead with the rocket report, Ed. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
Okay, Vertus, I cranked up my transmitter's power a little bit. I was hoping with this snow I could get just in hand and get you a little lower power, but this should be better. All right, yes. Good evening to the net. Good evening, Vertus. Happy 65th anniversary of Alan Shepard's first American in space. His space flight Freedom 7 there. I'll do more on that later. Last week we witnessed 8 launches. We had 2 heavy lift launches and a major flight of a new Russian rocket. First launch was Wednesday, April 29th at 0813 Mountain Standard Time. That was the week's big Falcon Heavy launch. SpaceX successfully launched the VSS 3M3 mission from pad LC-39A, Kennedy Space Center, Florida, on a 3-core Falcon Heavy rocket. The VSS 3M3 is a 6.4 metric ton Ka-band communication satellite headed to geostationary orbit. 2 side boosters spectacularly returned to the launch site for a dual landing. The center booster was extended as planned. This was the 12th flight of the Falcon Heavy and the first of 2026. It was also the 101st orbital launch attempt of 20. I will reset the repeater there. W6RDZ back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Second launch of the week was also on Wednesday, April 29th. SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 17-36 from Swift 4E Vandenberg Space Force Base at 2042 Mountain Daylight Time. 24 Starlink high-speed internet satellites went to Mega Constellation in sun-synchronous orbit. It was SpaceX's 630th successful Falcon 9 mission and SpaceX's 670th successful mission overall. Third flight, another batch of Amazon Kuiper LEO satellites launched on Thursday, April 30th at 2:57 Mountain Daylight Time on a European Space Agency Ariane 6 rocket. The Amazon LEO L02 mission departed pad ELA-4 at the Guiana Space Center, French Guiana, on an Ariane 64 On Thursday, April 20th at 12 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, Roscosmos successfully performed the first suborbital test flight of the new Soyuz 5 two-stage rocket with a mass payload simulator on board. The test flight departed Site 41. Reset the review. All right, W6 RDZ. Back with the rocket report. We were talking about that Soyuz 5. That test flight departed Site 45/1, Baikonur Cosmodrome, Kazakhstan. The Soyuz 5/Fregat SBU boasts a 17-ton payload to low Earth orbit capability. It is hoped that the new Soyuz 5 will replace the capability of the Zenit 2 and Proton medium-lift rocket. 7th launch Friday, May 1st, SpaceX launch started link group 1038 out of Flick 40, Cape Canaveral, Florida. It was booster 1069, 31st flight. And what are we doing here? There we are. 8th flight, Sunday, May 3rd. SpaceX launched the EAS 500-2 and others mission on a Falcon 9 departing at Split 4 Vandenborg Space Force Base, California. The South Korean EA-500 1 and 2 spacecraft are Earth observation satellites. They're using the Advanced Earth Imaging Sensor System. The system has a ground resolution of 0.5 meter in panchromatic mode and 2 meter in color mode. 44 other rideshare payloads also headed to sun-synchronous orbit on the same rideshare mission. Turn to launch site recovery. The booster landed successfully at LC-4 Vandenberg. W6 RDZ back with the rocket report. Now look at next week's launches. SpaceX is on the docket to launch Starlink Group 1729 from Vandenberg Space Force Base tonight. And 2035? No, they slipped that an hour. They're looking to launch a little after 9:30 here. So look forward to that one. That's after the end of the net. All right, second launch. Saturday, May 9th, China Aerospace and Science Corporation, Kazakhstan, is planning to launch the Tianhao 10 mission on a Long March 7 rocket from pad LC-201 at the Wenchang Space Launch Site in China. This is a Chinese automated cargo ship to resupply the Chang'e Station. Fourth launch, Tuesday next week, May 12th, at 05:55 Mountain Daylight Time. Kazakhstan hopes to launch a Long March 6 with an undisclosed payload from LC-9A at the Taiwan Satellite Launch Center in China. This launch also on Tuesday, May 12th at 16:15 Mountain Daylight Time. SpaceX is on the docket to launch the NROL-172 mission on a Falcon 9 from pad Split 4E Vandenberg. The mission is a batch of 13 secret satellites built by SpaceX and Northrop Grumman for the National Reconnaissance Office. All right, let's. W6RGZ here, back with the rocket report. That brings us to Starship Flight 12 update. Okay, Starship. We are still proceeding toward a launch the week after next. Elon set the trajectory of this launch further south to avoid air traffic around Puerto Rico and gave us the first launch date of May 12th. However, during a deluge test of Pad 2, a gas generator blew a roof panel off a ship. So now we don't know how that problem will delay the flight, but I think we have an answer. The cause may just be a safety overpressure release valve in the gas generator system that blew 30 seconds into the test, and the release of high pressure gas blew out the roof valve. If so, may not cause much of a delay. Now, this is just in from the NOTAM and other notices. It now looks like the launch has slipped to May 15th. So that's not much of a slip. A week after next, it's coming up. I was hoping Dave would join the net, A0AS. He's our Starship expert and might have some deeper insight, but I think we're looking to May 15th for now. All right. Last item on the rocket report today is the 65th anniversary of the first American reaching space, Alan Shepard. Crossed the Kármán line 3 weeks after the USSR's Yuri Gagarin became the first. We'll reset the repeater. All right, W6RGZ back with the last of the rocket report, celebrating the 65th anniversary of Alan Shepard's flight. Shepard's May 5th, 1961, Freedom 7 was suborbital and only lasted 15 minutes and 28 seconds. That's very similar to the Blue Origin New Shepard first flight. But it put the United States on the space exploration map. The flight audio immortalizes exasperated "Let's flight this camel" remark after various problems delayed the liftoff for about 2 hours. He'd already been in that Team Mercury capsule atop the Redstone rocket for 2 hours before that. Well, all went well, and just 3 weeks later, President John F. Kennedy called the nation to commit itself to the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely. All right. More articles on that, all kinds of links and videos on many different things there in the rocket report. All right. That's it for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net's rocket report. This is W6RGZ. Rocket Man Ed wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Now, back to Starman Vernon, KI0AR, and control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
All right, Ed, thanks for that. Beats last week was long. I think this week was a little shorter, so I do appreciate that. This is KI0AR net control for Colorado Astronomy. A lot of stuff that's being launched all around the world, so do appreciate you doing that for us on a weekly basis there, Ed. Appreciate it. Let's see, had a couple more check-ins. We got Mixie Pixie over on YouTube. Welcome to the net. I did post a couple questions over there, but I didn't see any response, but down in Pueblo. So thanks for that. And John, W2JLS, also checked in tonight. I'll go ahead and pause here before we go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Mike 7, Foxtrot Echo India. Again, that's Mike 7, Foxtrot Echo India. My expression over here from Spokane Valley, Washington.
All right, Brian, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Thanks for checking in tonight, Brian. KM7FEI. I like to touch base with my first-time check-ins and find out what your interest, background in astronomy is, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades or anything in between. Please go ahead and share with us. Go ahead.
Getting into astronomy, I'm always looking up at the night sky and seeing stars and tracking asteroids and comets. So that's lovely. Cool. Not many.
Okay, don't know exactly what happened, and I'm not seeing my thing over here lighting up. So if I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ, can you give me a radio check over? This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Just seemed we just lost the 448.350 repeater. I wasn't, it was very broken up and I didn't hear it, so I switched over to the 449.450 analog repeater. So I don't know what happened there. Brian, we lost you there a little bit. But I heard that you like to look up the stars and check out the comets and what's passing through the night skies as well. So again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully everybody can hear me now. Don't know exactly what happened there, but I wasn't getting any signal out. I even called for a rocket for a radio check and nobody responded. All right, got a fairly long list to go down, so welcome to all my new check-ins. Hopefully you guys have stuck around. This is the question answer article passing along observation reports period of the net. So this is where everybody else gets to share with the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything like that, now's the time to do it. First on the list tonight is Roy, KI7PKL up in Oregon. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Burgers in the net? Yeah, it's just one of the days. It's supposed to be clear, but it's not clear. So, anyway, this has been a tough galaxy season, but, it could be a lot worse. Anyhow, looking forward to, I've been saying this a lot, haven't I, the last couple of months. Hoping for better things next week. K-I-7, TKO.
All right, Roy. Hopefully you'll get to some clear skies. We don't have clear skies here. It's snowing. And definitely not conducive to taking telescopes out and seeing anything here. So there you go. In the same boat there. All right, Roy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Moy down in Texas. N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Ken, NV7SS in Nevada. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening there, Bernard. KI0AR NV7SS here in Indian Springs, Nevada, where it's absolutely been beautiful, I'll tell you. A little cool at night. You definitely want to go out there with a sweater on or something, but don't stay very long. But I tell you, it's been beautiful. Looking at the moon and everything, and it's just great. I wanted to ask you, though, did I hear you saying there's a blue moon this month? And also, what do you think of the pictures they've brought back from the moon that they've been displaying here recently? I tell you, I'm fascinated with them. They're great. Wish I'd have been up there to see that in person. But being the moon, I really like watching the moon and seeing things about it. But anyway, I just wondered what you think of the pictures what you've been seeing. Anyway, back to you, Bernard. Thanks a lot for being there. You always do a great job. Always enjoy listening to everything you talk about. And thanks a lot for that rocket report there, Ed. I appreciate that. NV7SS, back to you, Bernard. Thanks a lot.
All right, Ken. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the pictures now. I haven't actually had a chance to take a look at it. I've just been too busy with everything that's going on the last month, unfortunately. Gosh, I apologize. What was the first question there? The second question was about the moon pics. What was the first question there again? Ken, go ahead.
Yeah, Bernard, NV7SS. Hey, I think I heard you say this is a blue moon month. Is that correct?
That is correct. A month with 2 full moons occurring within that month. We have a full moon on the 1st and a full moon on the 31st. So yes, that is one of the definitions of a blue moon. Well, the other definition is the 4th full moon in a quarter. So in 3 months, if we have a fourth full moon. So in one of the quarters of the year. But this month, yes, we do have 2 full moons, and that's one of the definitions of having a blue moon. So there you go. And yeah, I'm looking at some of the interesting pictures that they do have of the crescent Earths over the, one was a very, very thin sliver of a crescent Earth. I kind of thought that was pretty neat. And some of the other pictures that I had, they got thousands of those pictures to look through, so that would take me a while to look through those. But yeah, some fascinating pictures of what they took on the moon and of the Earth as well. So I'll have to spend some time looking at some more of those. All right, Ken, appreciate your comments. I appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is John up in Washington, KJ7AGQ. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Whew. Next on the list is Rip out in West Virginia, K3XO. Good evening to you, Rip. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Randy out in Broomfield, KF0VTH. Good evening to you, Randy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Mike. He's over on YouTube. Mike out in Oklahoma, KO5AOK. Actually, John was over on YouTube as well. So, Mike, if you're still listening over there, if you've got any questions or you like to post over to the net, you can go ahead and do that, and I'll see the comment pop over there on YouTube. But definitely appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Keaton in Superior. KF0WWS. Good evening to you, Keaton. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Paul out in Utah, WA7GVL. Good evening to you, Paul. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening to you and good evening to the net. 57 degrees here in Cedar City, Utah, and mostly cloudy. It wasn't very many clouds most of the day, and then it just decided to cover over and deny me the chance to go outside and look at the meteor shower. And I've been in the hobby of astronomy for quite a while. I probably subscribed to Astronomy Magazine for 20 years, but my old Meade telescope has finally given up the ghost, and it's time to upgrade. Meade's not even around anymore, so there's nothing I can do to try to get it fixed, but the lenses that I have will work for the new telescope, I'm sure. And that's all I've got. WA7GVL, Cedar City, Utah.
All right, Paul. Thanks for that, and yeah, good luck at getting either your scope refurbished or fixed. Who knows? There may be some used parts out there that might help you. Don't be afraid to take it apart and fiddle with it. I've actually taken mine, the inner workings of my Celestron apart a couple of times. It's 40 years old. Actually, it's 46 years old. And re-greased the bearings and fixed it up so that it's still a viable instrument for sure. So good luck with that. And if you do decide to get a new one, you can definitely let us know and send us pics or what have you. Tell us all about what you're looking through when you get a new one there for sure. Paul, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Robert in Texas, AA5AH. Good evening to you, Robert. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Ed out in Broomfield, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening again, Bernice. Good evening to the net again. Yeah, nothing much for you. I don't have anything observational. We're getting a good blanket of wet, heavy upslope snow tonight, so we need that. Maybe May, but that's when we get our moisture here in Colorado. All right. The other thing I wanted to mention, besides I'm really looking forward to the Starship launch, is SpaceX has put out a great documentary on Starship development up to this point. It's called Test Like You Fly. And if you like pictures, yeah, put that up on the big screen. It's high definition pictures of all the Starship launches to date and all the development issues. Very, very good. So I put that link up on the AIM window on NetLogger for you. That's all I've got tonight. Back to you, Bernard.
All right, Ed. Thanks for that. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. I'll take that link and post it over there on YouTube so anybody interested in seeing that. Okay, Trista, yeah, that's Mixie Pixie. Thanks for posting that, Trixa. Do appreciate that. I'll put that down. Now I'll put that down over there. There we go, and delete that one. There we go. Thanks for posting over there on YouTube your call sign, and welcome to the net. I do appreciate you checking in over there. All right. Let's see. Where were we? Ed. And let's see. There's tricks over there on YouTube. If you post what's your interest, background in astronomy over there in the chat window, I'll pass that along when we come down to you. I would appreciate it, and welcome to the net over there. Next on the list is Randy in Fort Collins, KE0RXF. Good evening to you, Randy. New to my list, so again, welcome. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, we're glad to have Randy checking in tonight. That's a new call for sure. So I appreciate that. Next on the list is Ron in Berthoud, KF0VLO. Good evening to you, Ron. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Jim in Texas, AC0LI. Good evening to you, Jim. What have you got for the net tonight? Long time no hear. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Well, indeed, yes, it's been a long time, too long. The last time we were together was in the eclipse. During the eclipse where we had to kind of pace away from the clouds. And it's great to hear your voice again. I've had conflicts on Tuesday night. I'm going to try to work around those and be joining you more often. And been just so thankful to you for doing this for decades now. And also my condolences on the loss of your wife. AC0LI, Springtown, Texas.
All right, Jim. Yeah, it's great to hear you on the air again for sure. And for those of you who have been around for a while, Jim actually did my net control for quite some time when I was doing contract work in Seattle. That was back in 2010, 2011. Jim was nice enough to do net control for me for those couple of years for a while. So definitely been a while since then, but definitely good to hear you, Jim, and be great to have you back for sure. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight, and thanks for the condolences there. Yeah, it definitely hit hard. Next on the list is Trevor in Brush, KF0WRX. Good evening to you, Trevor. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Tony out in California, N0STG. Good evening to you, Tony. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing, next on the list is Rick in Ontario, VA3RKL. Good evening to you, Rick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Chad in Highlands Ranch, KF0UUC. Good evening to you, Chad. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KF0UUC, good evening. Thank you for the net. Not too much here, just trying to keep warm. Looks like winter has finally arrived. Thanks for the net and the Starship update. I'm really hoping to go down there to Texas and observe one of these launches. It's kind of difficult to make that work with the unknown schedule and then my work schedule, things like that. But maybe next Friday will work. I think trying to catch a launch is similar to trying to catch the northern lights, You could try, but not guaranteed. Anyways, thank you for the net.
All right, Chad, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And who knows, maybe one of these days it'll be guaranteed. We just need to get to that point. SpaceX is certainly trying to do that way, that's for sure. All right, next on the list is Michael in Utah. K7VWP. Good evening to you, Michael. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Matt in Tennessee, KI4OZQ. Good evening to you, Matt. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Mark out in Crook, KF0VXO. Good evening to you, Mark. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. He was over there on YouTube, but so is John. W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. I saw your post. Yeah, you're on Echolink. So W2JLS. Good evening to you, John, up in Ohio. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Bernard. I'm really very, very sorry to hear about the passing of your wife. I don't know if when this happened exactly. I just picked this piece of information up from a previous caller. Very sorry, sir, and my sincere condolences there. So I guess to share tonight, I was looking at this night in the history of astronomy, and I took note that this was the anniversary of Alan Shepard becoming the first man in space, and that would have been in 1961. And kind of the amusing anecdote that goes along with that, with the Artemis toilet problems, people may not realize when Alan Shepard was up there sitting on top of that rocket in the Mercury capsule, his intended duration in space was going to be very brief on that mission, the Freedom 7. And he sat in the capsule so long that he eventually had what he radioed down to NASA as being a physiological engineering challenge. And he basically had to go to the bathroom. And that's the
thought it over and gave him permission to relieve himself in his suit. They were worried that it would interfere with some of his sensors. And apparently some of those did briefly malfunction, but things obviously worked out all right. But yeah, I thought I'd share that tonight. Yeah, especially given all the, I mean, the Artemis was such an amazing success, but the human side of things kind of showed up again there. But we've certainly come a long, long way since 1961. Anyway, again, sir, thanks for having me on the net. Please let me know if you still need me to help you out with guest hosting this month. I'm happy to accommodate that if that's what you need. And yeah, I'm not planning to probably be at down in Dayton, but if things shift, I'll let you know. I'm not sure if you're headed there yourself or not. W2JLS, passing it back. Thanks for having me, Bernice.
All right, John, thanks for that. Yeah, my wife passed away on the 14th of April. That was a Tuesday as well. And Jack was kind enough to do a short net that night. And then I did a tribute net the following week for her. I did the Carl Sagan's star stuff. We're all made of star stuff. A little tribute to her. She liked all that kind of stuff as well, you know, with me. And, you know, I wonder, she was a little influenced, but she had liked that stuff before too. So I did a little tribute to her that following net. That net I did record for, that is on YouTube. April 21st one, so that was what, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks. It's been a while. Too long. It's just too much stuff. And probably one of the reasons I haven't gotten my newsletter out this month. April was easy, but this month was kind of tough to sit down and concentrate on that too much. Still a lot of stuff to go. It was way too sudden. My advice to everybody else is, if you haven't already planned for something like that, do so. Make sure you got all your ducks in a row. I know it's tough, but this was very, very sudden, and you know, life hits you hard sometimes, and it definitely did. It was about 3 weeks from when she went into the hospital until she passed. So didn't have anything to plan, and we're still young. I'm 68. She was just barely 69. So we expected to have several more years at least together. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. All right, and everybody else, please support John. Next week, I will be in Dayton, Ohio for the Dayton Hamvention. I'm going there early, but we'll arrive in Dayton Tuesday night. I'll try to check in via Echo Link, but I'll only have my little iPad, so I won't be able to do too much logging or YouTubing or anything like that. Well, I don't think I could. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to try something out, but I won't have all the software that I usually have set up for that. So please, everybody, give John your support next Tuesday night, as well as the following Tuesday night. I'll be back in town by then, but that's my last day on the road, and I know I'll be tired and I may not want to do the net, except for maybe listening in. So definitely give John your support next week and the following week. I'd appreciate it. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Brian up in Washington. KM7FEI. Good evening to you, Brian. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Appreciate being here tonight. I've just been listening and listening to everyone chat, and kind of the only reason why I joined the events is to see where everyone's from, listen to the things they like doing and whatnot. Weather up here is it's been beautiful today. I don't know, it's probably about 50 some degrees right now, clear skies. Absolutely beautiful day today. And yeah, that's really it. I just enjoy listening to these events. It's something to do. See where everyone's from. Care about what everyone does. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Brian, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And again, welcome to the net. Yeah, this is a global net. I think I've got 30 different countries, 20 for sure. I'll have to look and see. And I finally ended up working all states on, I have my own personal worked all states on the Colorado Astronomy Net as well. So all over. We're linked up through the skyhublink.com system as well, so you can definitely get global on that. But Brian, I appreciate you checking in tonight for sure. Trista over on YouTube, KF0JFA. Also a new check-in tonight over there, so I do appreciate her checking in. And if you got any comments, anybody over there on YouTube got any comments or anything you'd like to pass along to the net, post that over in the chat window there, and I'll definitely pass that along, and definitely hit that thumbs up button there too over on YouTube. Do appreciate that. All right, and there you go, Trista, welcome to the net as well. That was KF0JFA. All right, we are at the bottom of the list and still have a little bit of a few more minutes before I go ahead and wrap up for tonight. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and open up the net for anybody else. Questions, comments, late check-ins. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
Whiskey 0 Kilo Delta Echo. Whiskey 0 Kilo Delta Echo. This is Kelly out in Elbert County. Sincerest condolences on your wife. I lost mine 8 years ago. I know what you're going through.
All right, thanks for that, Kelly. I do appreciate it. And that's a new call on the list. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. W0KDE, welcome to the net. You get to do both. You get to tell us a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy, what have you, whether you're starting out or you've been doing it for decades or somewhere in between, and anything else astronomy-wise that you'd like to share with the net tonight. Go ahead, please.
I guess my biggest endeavor into it was when I was a quartermaster on the Abraham Lincoln. We did a ton of celestial navigation. So I was almost every evening looking at the stars out in the middle of the big ocean out there. Didn't have a whole lot of light pollution. We turned the ship's running lights down so we could take a fix. Later, as I got out of the Navy and went through college and then moved up here to Colorado, we moved out here to Elbert County, and it's it's not officially dark sky country, but it's pretty dark out here. And been playing around with some cheaper telescopes. I think we're probably going to move to Texas this summer. Again, in dark sky country, we'll be outside of Lubbock quite a ways. So I'll be able to hopefully buy a nice telescope and do a little more photography, astrophotography, and play around that way. I'll let you have it or break for the repeater reset. Yeah, so yeah, that's about it. I retired engineer. I was a software engineer for about 25 years and just retired this year. So we're going to get down closer to the grandkids and, like I said, hopefully be able to play around with the dark sky a little bit.
All right, Kelly, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Thanks for your service. I was I was Navy as well. Got out of the Navy in '93 myself. I was the underground Navy. I did fly a little bit, but never could land. So I went into Naval Intel for the rest of my career. So I was the underground Navy. Spent some time in Cheyenne Mountain and behind closed doors, behind closed doors, behind closed doors, underneath dirt. So there you go. Appreciate your service too, and I'm a retired software test engineer myself for various aerospace companies and medical device systems and things like that. So similar lines there, but I'm not moving. I'm not moving to Texas, and unfortunately, no grandkids yet. Maybe one of these days, but not yet. But Kelly, again, welcome to the net. We've got people all over. So when you move to Texas, definitely hit us on Echolink, and we'd love to see. I do post images of from our members on my newsletter. In fact, Roy, KI7PKL, I used some of his pictures. He checked in first tonight. You may want to check his QRZ page for his images. But definitely like to showcase what the members are doing as far as that's concerned in the newsletters. So Kelly, again, welcome. The name here is Burnus. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra on the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. So I do appreciate you checking in tonight. Okay, for those of you who are not on YouTube, you haven't gotten to see me yawning all night, so I'm tired. I am very tired tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 25 check-ins. Great turnout tonight, so I do appreciate that. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please give John, W2JLS, your full support. Next week, I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater tonight. Had to switch over mid-flight and get on there. For some reason, the Wires X repeater wasn't receiving my transmission, so don't know what was going on with that. But I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League, I just said that, for the use of their repeater system. Also, I'd like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their repeater systems and all the many ways that you guys can connect into the Colorado Astronomy Net. Please check out skyhublink.com for more information on that and direct links to Echolink, All-Star Nodes, DMR, what have you, Wires X analog as well. So with that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.
Last of the check-in, WEA Bell, Whiskey Echo 8 Mike. Whiskey 9, Bravo, November Oscar, W9, BNO, checking.
Oh, all right, all right. Good evening, David, WE8M, and Rich there, W9BNO. Thanks for checking in tonight. David, what have you got for us tonight? WE8M, go ahead.
KI0AR at the net this time. First of all, I want to extend my condolences for your boss. I know how hard that could be to lose your family member. Anyway, I'm going to have mention too. I don't have much excuse not to go because I'm about an hour's drive from have mention, but we have to figure out a way to meet up. Anyway, my email is good as you are said. I don't want to take up any more of your time. So, anyway, great net, 73. WEA now.
You bet, David. It would be great to do an eyeball QSO at the Hamvention for sure. I'm hoping to have something that would be relatively apparent. I do have a ball cap. I may wear that, but that doesn't keep my ears from getting sunburned, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, I think... do you have my email address? Well, yeah, you do. KI0AR at KI0AR.com. Yeah, I give that everybody. Drop me an email and I'll pop you my cell phone number. That would be easiest, and then we can connect. I'll be there for all 3 days for sure, and we can do an eyeball QSO there at the Hamvention.
Okay, that sounds great. Anyway, 73. Have a good night. Clear sky. WEA clear.
All right, David, appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Thanks for that. Rich in Wyoming, W9BNO. Good evening to you, Rich. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
W9BNO. Thanks for letting me check in tonight. In the evening, about 8 o'clock, I was in there real important.
Rich, two bright planets that you may be looking at. If you're looking towards the west, that would be Venus. And then just above it would be Jupiter. So yeah, Venus is quite bright at about 8 o'clock for sure. Towards the west, probably about 30 degrees up or so. Definitely very prominent in the evening sky. One reason is called the evening star, which it really isn't, but at magnitude minus 3.9, Definitely the brightest object once the sun sets and the moon doesn't come up yet. So that's what you're looking at for sure. Take a pair of binoculars and take a look at it, or better yet, a telescope, and you'll notice that that is in phase. Venus will be in phase. It's not a full disk. However, put that telescope up towards Jupiter, which is the other brightest object in the sky, almost not quite overhead, but just past the zenith, heading towards the west is Jupiter. So I'll be setting a little bit after midnight this week, and midnight by mid-month. So those are your two brightest objects in the night sky once the sun goes down there, Rich. Easy to spot there. There you go. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in as well. So thanks for that. Yeah, I am tired, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to all again. I do appreciate everybody listening in, and even the late check-ins there for sure. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.
Yeah, 0AR. In time for that, keep going back with you here a little late to head take care of something. But did want to wish you 73, sir. You're back in there. Take care of yourself. Talk soon. In time for that, you'll be clear.
All right, Moy, good to hear you. I was wondering what happened. No worries. Appreciate you contacting me again there. Take care, and 73. N5 ZIQ, this is KI0AR. I'm clear.